The coefficient of friction activity row calculation video. I'm going to show you how to do the calculations that you do on each row. You will measure the weight. Obviously you measure the wooden block and just add it to that weight. We're not going to have to measure each of those. We're going to assume if it says 5 kilograms, it is 5 kilograms. So my first row, I added the 0.15 to the 5.5 to get 5.15 kilograms. Then I also measured, as we showed you how early in another video, I had 3 trials for my static. That's what that S1, S2, S3. So I did 3 trials for my static. And then I took the average of that. Okay, so the average is simply how we normally do an average. I added those 3 up and divided by 3. So that's where my 18.5 came from. And you may be able to cut this off and put it all on one page. I don't care. The 51.5, my normal force is always, the normal force is just the force of gravity, which is the mass times g, which is 5.15 times 10, so that's 51.5. So I calculated that one, I calculated this one, okay? So that means I can now calculate the coefficient of static. The S is for static friction. The formula I give you is F. The force of static friction is equal to the coefficient of static friction, which only depends on the 2 surfaces. It's supposed to always be the same. You'll find when we do the lab, you're going to get different values, but in theory, this is totally dependent on 2 surfaces, and it should be the same. So I solved for that, for my static coefficient of static friction. So then I just take the static friction force divided by the normal force, and I got 0.36. I will do the same thing to find the coefficient of kinetic. I didn't show solving the formula. The coefficient of kinetic friction. Divide those and I get 0.17. You should always get a lower value for kinetic than you do for static. And then I just put those values in. I'll show you in a different video what we're supposed to do for the percentage difference for the static and kinetic. And I did not complete the lab because otherwise you try to make your data fit mine, and your data may be better than mine. But anyways, these are probably a general idea of the values. If you've got 1.46 for a US, if you've got something bigger than 1, then you probably made a mistake. I would holler at the instructor or a neighbor and see what you did wrong. Good luck.